Hey guys, welcome to the special mini-URT on how to download and use Endnote. So this is requested by a number of you, so as a consequence we're putting together this mini-URT for you. I would strongly recommend that you go to UWA's library to see whether or not you can book yourself in for a Endnote session there. But otherwise, hopefully this serves as a brief introduction to where to get Endnote and how to use Endnote and on a fairly basic level. Okay, so to begin with, I've got here UWA's main website here. If you just go into the site search here and type in Endnote, it should take you through to a page where you are capable of downloading Endnote directly from UWA's site itself. Now I hope this thing loads eventually. Give it a second. Oh boy, always happens in technology demonstrations. There we go. Okay. The first query return is this website here, download Sophos and Endnote. I don't know what Sophos is, but I know all about Endnote. So you'll need to put in your student number and FEMI password. I hope this one works. There we go. Okay, it comes up with a software list. Click on Endnote. It'll give you some information about Endnote. You go next. There are terms and agreements because remember Endnote is provided to you as a UWA student free of charge. However, it is licensed software, and if you weren't a UWA student, you'd be paying through the nose for it. Okay, just accept those. It'll take you through to a download Endnote site here. You can see here that you've got two different versions, actually four different versions, sorry. Windows X7 and Windows X6, as well as Mac X7 and Mac X6. I'd recommend going with Windows X7 if you're using a Windows operating system, or Mac X7 if you're using Mac operating system. At the moment we'll be dealing with how Endnote looks in Windows. It's effectively the same. You need to click on download all three of these links. You have the installation instructions as well as the MSI, which is the install file, as well as the license file. And then follow the Endnote instructions here in order to install it. It's a fairly straightforward process. What I'll do now is assume that you have installed it, and yeah, so you install it and you fire up Endnote for the first time. So what you're looking at here is my reference list. Unfortunately, I should have created one that doesn't contain any references, so what you'll probably see is something more similar to this box here. Let me see if I can bring this up. So I'm going to get rid of my old references. There we go. So this is what you'll see when you first boot up Endnote. You won't necessarily have any references associated with it. Now what you're looking at here is effectively the database window. One of the things that Endnote will do when it installs itself is it will install some very handy software called Cite-While-You-Write, and I'll boot up Microsoft Word to demonstrate how Cite-While-You-Write works within Microsoft Word. But to begin with, we need to cover what exactly Endnote is. It is basically database or storage software for all of your references as you obtain them. Now, in Endnote, you have multiple options in terms of creating references. I'm lazy. I prefer to just import references directly from where I've obtained them. But you don't necessarily need to do this. If you have, say for example, a website or a book or something that you want to cite, you can just move your mouse up here to New Reference and then click on that, and then it'll come up with a bunch of options here. So you got reference type here as journal article. You can press the down arrow here and you have all the different types of media that Endnote is capable of cataloging, including book or what do we have here? Online database, online multimedia, web page, whatever the case may be. Now you have a bunch of fields here that you'll need to fill in as best as you can. Often with things like web pages, it's hard to find things like the author or the year. You'd put in the year accessed, the title, all of these kinds of things. It can be a little bit tricky, but do your best. Just remember, with websites in particular, you can attach the URL there, and as well as the, I think it's the, where is it? The access date. Here we go. So you can input the access date as well, and these things will be cited when you use Cite-While-You-Write while you're typing out your document. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Science Direct, just won't bother saving that. I'm going to get a proper reference. By proper I mean a peer-reviewed scientific reference to do with hydraulic fracturing. So in the background here, I have loaded up Science Direct, and for some reason I have Science of the Total Environment as the journal. Science Direct is a website that is available through the library website. So you can either use one search to find these databases. The other one that I strongly recommend is, again, you have to access this through one search, is called a website called Web of Knowledge, webofknowledge.com. Okay, so Web of Knowledge, or Web of Science as it's called here, is Thomson Reuters' attempt to pull together all of the databases that are available out there. If you access this from UWA's library website, you effectively have access to this database, which in turn allows you access to other databases. So I'm going to come back to Science Direct, which is one of the major databases that are out there. It's run by Elsevier, who are a major publishing house. And I'm going to type in here hydraulic fracturing just to see what happens. Fracturing. There we go. Okay, let us see if we get... okay, so what do we have here? On comparison of thinning fluids used for hydraulic fracturing. Ooh, interesting stuff. Shale-hosted hydrocarbons and hydraulic fracturing. Wow. Okay, so there's some pretty cool articles here. Fracking, controversy and communication using National Survey data. This would be very good for some of you who are doing, public perception of fracking, whatever the case may be. With very recent articles, you can import directly the PDF into Endnote. Alternatively, you can select the article here, then scroll back up to the top and export the citation as an RAS, and you can see here it says for Endnote, Reference Manager, ProCite, and other softwares. Fortunately, because this is a fairly recent article, all of the metadata, including the author, the journal name, the date published, page numbers, will be contained within the PDF. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the PDF here and download it. Look at that. God, this is brilliant. Okay, this is the Journal of Energy Policy, 2014, number 65, and fantastic. I mean, this here will be in someone's article, I hope. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save this on this somewhere. Please don't mind the Walking Dead series here. That is legal. So I'm going to save this here. I'm going to return to Endnote, and I'm going to click on the Import button. Again, you can go File and Import, or alternatively, you can click on the Import button here. I'm going to choose the file, go to my downloads, and it will be somewhere in here. This is the PDF that I downloaded. Open that, import option as PDF, and then press import, and it's going to obtain all the data related to it. Give it a second, and there we go. Okay, so Hilary Boudet, 2014, and she created this article here. It has also attached the PDF associated with it, so if I wanted to ever go back and read the article again, I just double-clicked on the reference article itself, and then I can open up the PDF and give it a second to boot up, and there we go. I've got effectively permanent access to this particular article, and this looks brilliant. In fact, after I'm finished this Mini-URT, I am going to read this article because it looks like a fantastic one. Okay, now comes the important part. How do you put these references into Word? So what I'm going to do now is boot up Microsoft Word. Here we go, and I'm going to create a new document here, and I'm going to type something like fracking is an issue of tremendous importance in the United States. And I'm going to cite these guys in the background. So I'm going to come back to here, and I want to cite Boudet, Hilary, and this particular article here. So again, coming back to Word, if you have Word on your system and you've installed Endnote, you'll find that Endnote has put in a new menu here called Endnote X7. You can click on that and it'll come up with a whole set of options for you here in terms of how to, in terms of Endnote options for you. Now, very easily, the one on the left-hand side here is just called Insert Citation. So I'm going to click on that, and then in the background here under Endnote, I have already selected Hilary Boudet's article. And coming back to Word, I'm going to go Insert Citation, and the selected citation, I'm going to press that, and it should come through from Endnote into my article here, according to using the style author date copy, which is one that I have created for the purpose of my referencing styles. And you can see here it's included the reference as I would want it to be cited, and then under references here at the end of my document I would have references and then have the articles that I list out there just directly from Endnote. You can see that that was just one touch of a button, which makes Endnote incredibly powerful. You have the reference there, you want to insert it at the end of the sentence. All I did was select the reference in Endnote, insert citation, and bam, it did all the formatting for me. Importantly, this is not the formatting style that we want. We actually want the UWA Harvard style, which I've downloaded from the guide as listed in tutorial sheet 3. So I'm just going to scroll down and go to the UWA. Do I have it here? I'm sure I do. STU. Ooh, maybe I don't. Okay, I haven't installed the UWA style here. Instead, I'm going to select the Harvard style because that's close enough. Click on Harvard, and then Endnote will go through and reformat everything to exactly how the Harvard style should be. Now, lastly, I will go to LMS here and go to tutorial number 3, which Mary had kindly put up for us last week. And it is, where are we, week 1, week 2, it is under week 4. Sorry, wait, it's tutorial 2. And I'm going to boot that up, save that here, and then scroll down to, oh, maybe it isn't. Okay, go to tutorial 3. Where are we? Tutorial 3 information sheet is here. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so sorry about that. I meant tutorial 3 information sheet. Harvard style referencing applies. This is on the bottom of page 2. I'm going to click on that. It will take me to UWA's Harvard guide here. Give it a second. Now, importantly, with regards to this Harvard guide, it'll tell you all of the details here, exactly how UWA wants its referencing style. So I'm going to keep on scrolling down, and on the left-hand side here, it's got UWA Harvard style file. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to download the UWA Harvard style file. And then I'm going to place this into Endnote's style directly. So let's go to, whereabouts has it been installed? C drive. Program files, Endnote X7, styles. Okay, let me just bring this up, and then I'm going to copy this across to the Endnote styles here. I'm going to kill Endnote for a second and reboot it up. Endnote X7, where are we? Endnote, here we go. Okay, so Endnote X7 is booting up now. And I will have the UWA Harvard style available to me in Word. So Harvard, select another style, and it's got to be here. UWA Harvard 2011. How about that? Okay, select that, and away it goes. It will format the reference according to UWA's Harvard style. Alright, that is effectively a very quick, very brief introduction to Endnote. Again, strongly recommend going to the library, going through a organized introduction to Endnote. What I've shown you is effectively how I use Endnote. It is extremely powerful. I'll just open up my previous reference library here. I think it's this one here. Is it going to open for me? Yes, it is. So you can see here that I've got 652 articles here, and I can select on any one of them, come back to Word, type in a sentence in a sentence, and then I can insert the citation directly into here, and it will go through, put in the citation, and then look at that. Cornelius et al. Soil and biogeochemical signatures of the Arapuana base metal deposit. Amazing. In geochemistry, exploration, environment analysis. I didn't have to type in a thing. I just pressed the button, selected the reference that I wanted, and then away you went. Okay guys, best of luck using Endnote. Leave a comment or put a post up on LMS in either the Mini-URT or against your tutorial site, and have fun using Endnote.